Hello there. Welcome back to the HTML5 game development course. In the last video, we connected the canvas with Create.js library. In this video, we'll prepare the graphics. A slight disclaimer. We use Adobe Animate to draw the graphics. Adobe has renamed the Flash into Adobe Animate. It's to better reflect the functionality of the application. That's to create web animation. Flash has a bad reputation. It's mainly from the Flash player, which has security and performance issues. But we are not going to use the Flash player. We are using Adobe Animate to draw the graphics. It supports exporting the animation directly to Canvas by using the Create.js library. And then we can control the graphics and its animation playback directly in JavaScript. So, moving on. In this video, we'll create a document in Adobe Animate. We'll then add background graphics and numbered box graphics and export them to JavaScript. You may ask, what if I don't have the Animate software? It comes with Adobe Creative Cloud Bundle. So, if you're already using Photoshop or other Adobe applications on the Creative Cloud plan, you can install Animate as well. If you aren't subscribed to Creative Cloud, you can still use the exported graphics code from the provided code bundle of the video course. You can find the code in the following URL. If you don't have the subscription, it's still worth going through the process, and I'll explain how the graphics is structured during the drawing process. We need to learn the display structure anyway. Let's open Adobe Animate. Choose HTML5 Canvas when creating a new document. In the stage property, I usually set the dimension to be the same of our game. This is not a required step, but I find it easier to fine-tune the size of the game object with this configuration. Then we draw a rectangle shape. Before fine-tuning the graphics further, we want to make it as a symbol. Select the shape by double-clicking on it or drag to select it. Then choose Convert to Symbol or Function 8 key on the keyboard. We name the symbol Numbered Box. In the box symbol, we can now use layers to make the graphics more appealing. For example, I give the box a gradient overlay. Now we want to add a text area on top of the box to display a number. Let's create a new layer and put a dynamic text box here. We can set the font size and text alignment. It is dynamic text, so we can set the content of the text box later in JavaScript. We want to reference this text area later in JavaScript. To do so, we can give the text area a name. Let's name it Number Text. Before exporting the graphics, we want to give our numbered box a class name, so that we can create instance of this graphics in JavaScript with a reference name here. We can go to the Library panel, select the Numbered Box symbol, and double-click on the Linkage column. Adobe Animate allows us to give a linkage name, which is the class name when exported to Create.js. By using similar drawing technique, we also draw a background. The background is quite static, that doesn't have dynamic text area like the box. We just need to draw it and give it a linkage name. We also need to draw the game over screen. It is like drawing the background. We create a new symbol with a background shape and a static text. But we need to create a restart button. This can be done by converting a rectangle shape into a button symbol. The button symbol allows us to define a normal state, hover state, and active state. We can have different styles for these states by adding keyframes and changing the colors. In order for the JavaScript to make use of this button, we give it an instant name, Restart Button, in the Property panel. Finally, we define a linkage name for the whole game overview. Great! Now we're ready to publish the file. Choose Publish Settings from under the File menu. In the settings, we can set the Create.js export setting. At the moment, we will use the default values. By default, the exported files are at the same directory of the Flash document file. That brings us to the end of this video. Excellent! In this video, we drew the graphics for our Count game. We also exported the graphics into a script file that we can use in code. In the next video, we will import our graphics into the game and use it to implement our numbered box game object.